All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 7-game slate here on this Friday. Joined as always with Chris. Got some nice success to go over. Takedown Thursday, Chris, like we were talking about yesterday. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. We had a good result yesterday from Justin. Is he in here?
Yeah, he is. He's in the chat. Do you have it open today?
No, I'm not. I don't have it open, but I mean, he's always in here right away after a takedown. So I mean, it's pretty common now. He's definitely getting the hang of things. Very sharp player. Glad he enjoys the show. So shout out to Justin.
Yeah, it's couldn't have said it better, sharp player. Is that 2 in a week for him?
Yeah, I think he had one 2 days ago. I mean, the only bad thing we could say about him is the logo he has on the sites, but other than that, he's a stud.
We need to make him like a collaboration logo, like a half Osimo, half Crunch logo. Then he could have like the best of both worlds. Maybe that's what he needs.
He probably has some like secret, I don't know, superstition with his logo. So, I mean, whatever works, whatever wins him the money is what matters.
Yeah, that's what I said last time. Just love to see guys winning money here. That's what it's all about. So, big shout out to Justin. He's here in the chat. He said Garry with like 20 R's like always. We got Brent here as well, the hype men. So yeah, we'll get into that. We got Roll King in here. What's up, Ronald Jones? Chris, your sniper. Is he still sniping you?
I don't know who he is. That's the thing. I can't tell.
Like his username?
Yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, I don't look through my contests like that, so I have no idea.
Ronald, let me know if you're still sniping Chris. I want to know that. I also want to know why. Why are you sniping Chris? But I guess
he is, I mean, yeah, my contests are posted today, so you can take more if you want them.
Yeah. Let's get into the success. Ronald says, "Hey Chris," a few exclamation marks, the eye emoji. But yeah, first up we have you. You posted first. I think we have yesterday's here. So you killed it too. You did 1,200 here into 2K and then 1,300 into 3K almost on DK. Did you play a bit lighter than usual just because you were away playing basketball?
No, it's just this point of the season a little harder to get contests. Oh. And like I said, no one takes my head-to-head, so yeah, it's kind of tough.
Can you change your name on FanDuel?
No.
Okay. I guess that could help, but guess not. I don't have your contest links though, so I need those, Chris. That's always hard to get out of you, contest links. So let's get those sent. Next up, got Snow here, 2764, solid stuff. NBA single slate here on DK, 19 to 32. Single slate here again, another one, 35-46. Pucks, 20 to 140. Do you know if this was the optimal? That's pretty solid stuff there. That must have been pretty high up in some of the contests. I know NHL usually has like lower payouts, right? Less people playing, so it must have been a high result though.
You can usually tell if it's the optimal if a few people post the same lineup. So if you scroll down, I think Turnberg had the same lineup, someone else as well. So yeah, I mean it crushed yesterday.
Nice, love to see it. Then we got Nick here. You got a new picture here, Chris. What is that hat? Do you know? It's probably baseball related.
Twins hat.
What? Twins hat?
Twins hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm like Ant-Man with baseball.
Do you know what city it is at least?
No. Do you know what city it is?
Of course.
What city is it, Chris?
Minnesota.
Oh.
That's where he's from.
Actually, yeah, should have known that. But yeah, that's a good picture. I like it. Do you think he made that one himself? Pulled up the Pepe creator? PepeCreator.com?
No shot.
Why?
I don't know. I think he posted the meme before. It was like the Pepe with the sad face with the fork in the electrical outlet.
Also the Twins hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepe Creator. But yeah, he did 116, 260 on DK, 60 to 100, 20 to 40, and then over here 77 pucks. Oh yeah, here it is, 168.8. So yeah, that's the opto pucks. I'm guessing 77 to 244. Solid stuff out of all the crunchers. Love to see it. T-Bay over here. What did he do? 11 to 20 almost. That's He's managing his bankroll properly, growing it slowly. I love to see it. Like the discipline here is nice. I love it. Remember when he first started, He was just going all in, like all in every day.
Yeah, he's like a young Rajon Rondo. But I think I told him yesterday to start entering some tournaments, just like a $1 single entry. So hopefully he does that.
Yeah, like what's the ratio? The golden ratio people always talk about. It's like I don't know, like 80% cash, 20%, like something like that, like 80% cash, 20% tournament, 90% cash, 10% tournament, just something like that. Don't do like 50% tournament of your entry fees. Like I think for him, like a $1 tournament would be like the right amount, right?
Yeah, or $2. I mean, depends on how much he plays. Usually, I mean, we've seen him play like $4, but yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I told him yesterday to play it. I don't think he wants to, but
If you're doing $4, just put 1.25 or 1 5 cent entry, 1 5 cent entry into the tournament.
Yeah.
But no, we got to mention the bankroll management because that's super important in DFS for long term results. So always got to bring that up. Help out the crunchers. Bankroll is key, just as important as all the roster construction, lineup news, slate news, all that stuff. So that's like fundamentals 101. Vian Jones says putting out an Amber Alert for a win.
I mean, Vian Jones, he's won the giveaway a few times. Always gives it to someone else. We've been crushing on DraftKings recently with NBA, so I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe wait. He's tried our tool, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
Vian Jones. We should just. He's won it like a few times already. He's given it away. I feel like if he wants to try it out, we can just give him a trial. Just make an account. No? Why not?
That's what I was saying. He's won it a few times and has given it away every time.
Vian Jones, just make an account. Give me your email, and then I'll upgrade it. You can try it out for like a week or something. Because you're always here. Like you should try it out for sure. See how you like it. Just give me enter the Is he in the Discord?
Not that I know of.
Like he probably has like only 2 apps. It's probably like Chrome on his phone. I don't know if it's phone. Like I guess on his phone he has like his browser and FanDuel app. That's it. Nothing else. Or DraftKings app. Sorry.
Yeah, DraftKings.
Yeah. Ronald Jones says, "Let me get a free." There is a free trial. Like it's automatically applied.
Yeah, I don't think Ronald Jones hasn't been a member. I don't think, but yeah. So you could just sign up on the site. You got a free 3-day trial before your build, and like Garry always says, you can cancel before that, and you won't get charged. So in any of these, you could do weekly, monthly, yearly. It doesn't matter. You'll get the 3-day trial without being charged.
Yeah, so you can just set a reminder to cancel. Even if you mess up, you can message me. I've done that before. Someone forgets to cancel. They come back like 5 days later. They say they wanted to cancel. I just give them a refund. So even if you forget, you can still cancel. So just try it out there. But the reason is for Vian Jones is because he's actually, we've had giveaways before, so he's won a few. So he's always given them away, as Chris has said. So that's why I'm kind of extending that giveaway thing to him again. So if you make your account, Jones, send me a message in Discord and then I'll upgrade it for you like we do for the giveaways. But yeah, this is the big one, Chris, over here. Wait, before we do that, Wendy says slate was trash last night. Was the slate trash?
I mean, not really. Like we kind of got lucky. We got the DeRozan news before lock with plenty of time. I mean, we've seen like 5+ situations in the past few years where Popovich just rests his guys after lock. He plays them a half and then doesn't play them at all the rest of the game. So we kind of got lucky. We got the news early. So, I mean, I was happy with it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the big one, Chris. This is Justin, our boy Justin here, a.k.a. Rainmaker, a.k.a. JRS7881. Which of those 3 do you like the most, Chris? Justin, JRS7881, or Rainmaker?
I like Justin.
Me too. I like Justin. Yeah, solid stuff there. This is like an industry collaboration, Awesemo DFS Crunch. So, I mean, I love it. Collaborations are awesome. Like you said, super sharp player. It's ridiculous. Like he's been on fire this last week. I think, was it last time did he get second place or was it first place?
I think he got second by 0.5 2 slates ago. It was the cat slate where Cantor and Whiteside sucked.
And that was like 15K, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Seeing some other crunchers here, Chris. Popagates, Chipotle Addict, Do you see any other crunchers here? These guys always have the same crunch lineups.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is crazy. Let's get into the lineup. Only 5 entries as well, so that's even crazier. $66 into 20K. I mean, I love this. Like, this is awesome. Like, we need to get a few of these a month across our crunchers. That'll be awesome. I think we can definitely do it if we had more crunchers here playing tournaments. So one day it'll happen, but I think did we have a big win in March, Chris, as well? I think we must have. We've had some in December, January. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, love
always.
it. Let's open this one up. The best part is actually, the best part about this is this guy right here, Chris. Andre Drummond. Yeah, Andre Drummond, Chris. 1% here, 1.4%. Like I always say, all know his upside. He's a beast. 20 rebounds, Chris. 3 blocks. I mean, that's Andre Drummond doing Andre Drummond things. Is he still a losing basketball player, like you always say?
I don't really say that. I mean, I've said that when he was on bad teams, but I mean, I think he's good if he's going to be playing with LeBron. But yeah, I'm wondering what got Justin onto Drummond. Maybe it was probably some late swap thing because he has Lonnie Walker and White here, so he obviously late swapped. Also has Keldon Johnson. So he probably had DeMar before and then made that late swap and then had the money to get up to Drummond and Schroeder. Not sure who he would have had at center yesterday, who he would have swapped off of. Maybe he just had Drummond from the jump. I'm not sure. But I'm interested to know what got him on Drummond.
Yeah. Interested as well. Austin says, yeah, there was a late swap here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We always talk about Drummond as well, Chris. You were also saying yesterday, I think, I mean, I always say Drummond's upside. I always bring it up. But then you mentioned something about center being a little bit thin yesterday. So you kind of also went on that a bit yesterday. But it sounds like it was like a late swap situation here. But still, I love it. Drummond, he is a beast. Ronald is asking how to sign up. Just go to our site, dfscrunch.com. Click this. I'm already signed in, so I don't think it'll work. But let me do this. Yeah, so just go here. You can choose. You can also click here, wherever. Click that, and then, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just make your account here. And then over here for the payment, it just asks you for the payment, but it's like we said, it's not going to charge you until after the trial's over. So just fill that in, PayPal or Stripe, and then that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, let's see. Let's go back to Justin here. Yeah, anything else, Chris, on this lineup that you find interesting, or is it you just find the Spurs late swap stuff interesting here?
No, I mean, that stuff was obvious. Like, that's the optimal route. DeMar gets ruled out, so you get onto Lonnie. Already on White with Murray out and Mills out. But you get onto Lonnie, you get onto Keldon. So that's like the optimal swap, obviously. And then the Schroeder Drummond is the interesting part because he probably had like Luka, or I don't know what he had. Obviously, someone from the late game at point guard and center. So like I said, I'm interested to know what he swapped off of. And yeah, I mean, these Lakers guys got him there.
Yeah, like I said, this is awesome. I love it. What else do we have? Ronald. Yeah, just another thing, Ronald. Make sure you join the Discord as well. So you should get an email after you sign up. So it's a good place to kind of get help if you need help, how to use things, stuff like that. So join the Discord after you sign up. Yeah, shout out to Justin once again, Rainmaker, JRS7881. Love it. Yeah, next up, Chris. Big shadow here with Justin's win, but this is still solid. 350, 830. This is MLB action. You weren't even home yesterday during the slate. You were hooping, and you still crushed it. Did you manage all the late swaps away from home on your Apple Watch?
Yeah, I did. But yeah, didn't have to do any late swaps here in MLB. This lineup, I had a Red Sox stack, which they were the highest implied team total, so I wanted them. And then the other guys were kind of fillers, had a few Mets, had the best pitcher on the slate. So this lineup kind of built itself, in my opinion.
Yep. I also wanted to say one other thing, Chris. Takedown Thursday, we were talking about it yesterday. You didn't like the ring of it, the sound of it. You said Takedown Tuesday. Justin didn't want to wait. So is Takedown Thursday a thing now as well?
I guess it is.
And then what's Friday? We have one for Friday now.
Yeah, Turnenburn said it in the NBA chat, I think he said. He said first place Friday.
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Actually, I played some tournaments on FanDuel. I think I ended up like 30th place. I think my score was like 367, 68 or something. But that was just the 5 cent 150 entry tournament.
This was no, you were probably higher because this is a higher stakes one with only 1,700 entries. So I mean, if you were in the big contest with 200,000 entries, you probably had a much higher score if you were 30th.
Yeah. Maybe. I think so. Maybe. I mean, I don't know, actually. I'm not sure why I'm saying I think so. But it was a high score for me as well. But that was just the 5 cent one. Do you know if this one is 150 entry max, Chris? I don't think so, right?
No, this is definitely not 150 max. It's probably like 30 something. I don't know.
30.
I don't max this. I've probably played it a few times, just one entry, but never maxed it.
Yeah. And other thing I wanted to say, actually, because I had some solid results in the 5 cent one. Didn't post it because it's just 5 cents. Didn't get first. But I was using the model that we were working with the other day, Chris, here, testing it out a bit more. Seems to be working great. I think, we got this fixed, Chris. So we can go over this later today, the top one. This is working now. So we got that fixed. This is working, and the Vegas is working. So this was like what I used yesterday for my projections, and it was actually pretty. Like it's really cool. Like it's a nice way to differentiate your projections from all the rest of the field. I guess the rest of crunchers are just kind of change it for the slate. So it's really a lot of fun. I think we should do that again at the end of the show, if you don't mind. Yeah, we got Hasty here says, what's up, Hasty? Says, best tool in the game. Says it's a printer. Drummond is a real one, finally. Getting some Drummond recognition. Love to hear it. Ronald Jones asking if he needs to put a promo code in. No, you don't need a promo code. Hasty said it as well. I guess that can be a bit more clear on our sign-up process, but I always say this, like our onboarding, account creation, subscription creation stuff, it's kind of not it's not the best right now, but it's because we've been working on this tool. Like all of the effort goes into making like this the best, so we haven't like been marketing it like crazy, other than like the YouTube. Haven't been like optimizing our website for conversions, anything like that. Like we've just been putting all our effort into making this crunch tool the best it possibly can. So that's why might be a little bit confusing, but yeah, no, you don't need a code. It's automatically applied through PayPal or Stripe, whatever you use. So no code or any link needed for that. So yeah, there's that. Ronald's trying to win something. Chris, we need this first place Friday. We need a good show today. Hasty's pumping it up. Says best decision you made today, signing up for the trial.
Best decision today. Yeah.
Hasty says, all good, boys. When you get in on the ground floor, it is all good. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I just, like I said, like I think if we make the product the best it can, the rest will come after. So that's what we're focusing on. But yeah, moving on. Turn and burn here. Last one we have posted here. $5. Oh my god, that's crazy. $5 to 350. This is NHL, single entry, 1K to first. So must have been close. This is the optimal, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. 168.8. We were talking with the other team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was also 168.8 from, I think I am Snow and Nick. I think they both had it. So yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess this is kind of an example of why you're telling T-Bay to enter a bit in tournaments, just because you have the upside there, and then you have like the floor with your cash contest to sort of eat up the downside of tournaments, since the cash line is usually a bit higher. So that's why it's like a 80-20, 90-10 kind of ratio of cash games to tournaments that you want. But it's for this upside here that you see. Like if you just did cash, If you did like a double up, it'll be 5 to 10. But although, yeah, you could see here. I think Turn and Burn plays more tournaments though, right?
He also does cash games with the optimal, but yeah, you could see here like 5 to 10, and then in the single entry $5, he got second place, got 350. So he was one spot away from 1K there.
Yeah. Do you know actually where's Kubaka, Chris? What happened to Kubaka? He's here. He's a member. I just haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's doing fine.
Yeah, he pops in sometimes. I mean, he's the first lifetime member we've had, so he's always going to be in here. But yeah, I mean that he's the OG. Him and Snow are the OGs in my eyes.
Yeah, we've got some OGs.
Probably a few other guys as well.
Yeah, there are OGs for sure. Yeah, he's on that lifetime, that limited edition lifetime membership that we used to have at the start. So we've got some guys on there. I think we have like four or five guys on that lifetime. So yeah, I guess no rush. He's in DFS for the long haul, so just pops in whenever. But yeah, shout out to Kubaka as well. Hasty says Kubaka, a real one for sure. Turn and burn, goated for sure. Goes back to Twitter pics, lols. But yeah, do we have Ronald in the Discord? Did he join? I think we have him actually. If you don't have your code, by the way, Ronald, I think sometimes the emails don't get sent out for whatever reason. So just shoot me a DM on Discord. You can find me here. If you click start here, you can see my name here. Right click it and then message me. And then just give me your email, and then I'll give you your code for the verification, and then you can get in on all the premium member channels. So do that as well. But I think that's it, Chris. We can get into the slate here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, contest. My bad. That's not it. Almost missed this. So let's go over FanDuel first. Let me scroll back up so we know what you did here. So you obviously won 1,200 to 2K. Like I said, you were hooping during all of this, Chris. You had full-time DFS results with part-time work, part-time DFS, full-time results on your Apple Watch, making all the decisions there. How did you manage, Chris? What happened here? What went right?
Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't too big of a slate. Big news, obviously, DeMar DeRozan getting ruled out after lock. I think it came at like 5 p.m., so maybe a little earlier. So it was like 40 minutes before the Spurs game started. Obviously, we were all over DeRozan on both sites. Everyone was, because Murray was already ruled out. Patty Mills was out. He kind of just fit the build, so we were all over him. And then obviously had to swap. So had this team. So the original guys were Cole Anthony, Josh Jackson, Ingram, Tatum, Stewart, and Bamba. I liked all those guys. Bamba obviously got the bump. He was starting. Carter was out, so we had to play him. Pretty low owned. Tatum, he was 9.5 here, so just way too cheap for this role. 60% owned. He didn't shoot too well, but I mean, he put up all the other stats: 6 assists, 11 rebounds, 1 steal. I think he shot like 30%, maybe even lower. So if he had like a normal shooting game, like 30 real life points, he would have got to 50. But yeah, Kemba was on fire as well. I think this game was out of hand a little bit, so I'm not sure if they got the full minutes. Obviously, I didn't watch it. But yeah, let's see. Can you scroll down? Yeah, so the swap I made, I had point guard instead of Luka. I had, what's his name? I had Derek White, actually. So Derek White, he had like 57 as well. So I had Derek White there. Obviously, DeRozan instead of Lonnie Walker at shooting guard. And then at small forward, I had Miles Bridges instead of Keldon. So I had to get creative because I had all this salary to spend up for now with DeMar DeRozan out. And then we had all these new value plays come out from the Spurs. So we had Lonnie Walker, who was starting. Keldon obviously got a huge bump. And then Derek White, he was the guy that it kind of hurt to fade him because he was just in such a smash spot. But, I mean, if I didn't fade him, I would have left like a bunch of money on the table. I think this lineup left 700 on the table. But I had to get to Luka. He was the only spend up remaining. So I went Luka, Lonnie Walker, and Keldon. That was the 3v3 there. Ended up working out. Luka had a pretty good game. Lonnie Walker, I think he was the minimum here, went for 24. So really good game there. And then Keldon, he was the scary guy. He got hurt in the first quarter, but he came back. So yeah, he did well. I think he was 4-2, got 28. So yeah, it was like I like the build all throughout the night. Even after the DeMar news, I liked the build. So yeah, it was a really good night. I was kind of shocked to see everyone in the Discord. They were kind of, I don't know, they were scared, I guess, of the news or something like that. But everything came together nicely, like with the changes. So yeah, I mean that's NBA DFS. You have to rebuild after every, or not after. You have to rebuild before every game locks just to make sure you have the best team possible. Because like we always say, projections always update. New starters come out. Someone random could be starting who's a value play that changes the build. So I mean, you always have to re-optimize before every game starts, especially in NBA.
Yeah, I think we had some talk here the other day. Maybe we can get into it a bit about. I think it was, well, not I think, it was Austin. He was talking about Giannis over Tatum, Chris. We had some discussions about that because I know he was saying a few other, I guess, industry providers, optimizers, services they were going heavy on Giannis over Tatum.
No way. Who?
Huh?
I don't think so.
I think he was.
No, he was. I think he was saying Trigga because Trigga had Giannis, and he was saying Trigga didn't share it. But I mean, he's just like Trigga's a tournament guy, so that was a tournament pivot. I mean, Tatum was the obvious play. He was the guy without Jalen Brown, 9'5", too cheap. Giannis, obviously, coming off the injury, hasn't looked great. Only went for 61. I mean, Tatum, he's not going to shoot whatever he shot. Let me pull it up, actually. I think he shot like...
Yeah, I think his boy told us. I think he went for like 3 for 17 or something.
Yeah, and they only scored 99 points. So, I mean, the under was crazy. This game was, combined 85 points. So, like, probably 30 points under the implied over-under. So, yeah, Tatum shot 3 for 17 and still got 35 fantasy points. So, I mean, Tatum was the play.
Wait, you said 30 points under the over-under?
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the over-under was.
That's crazy, no?
It was probably lower, actually. Let me see.
Wait, if you knew that, you could just bet on the over-under, like you always say. You'd be rich from Vegas.
Yeah, so it was 220, and then this game was 185, so 45 points lower than the over-under. But obviously, no one knows that going into the game. So yeah, and he shot 3 for 17. So I mean, I'm interested to see what Austin has to say because I wasn't too sure what he was. What his point was entirely because, I mean, Tatum was the obvious play over Giannis. 10 times out of 10 in cash games, tournaments, you can always make a case for a pivot. But, I mean, in cash games, that's where you play the optimal. That's where Tatum's the play.
He was just making a case for the community. He's like a real community guy, Austin. So he just wants people to, like, if they have, like, strong conviction in something, he would like people to share. Because he shares a lot of his stuff. But... I mean, I was just saying, like, I don't think, like, for cash games, like, even if you switch to Giannis, like, he's still lower owned here, right? And then, like you said, like, Tatum obviously was he was still the good play. He just, like, underperformed, shot poorly, like you said, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his point was anything to do with cash games about Giannis because Trigga's a tournament guy. The lineup Trigga posted was a tournament lineup. So, I mean, it could just be Trigga just building lineups with the tool, and one of the lineups lands on Giannis. So, it's not like he's going out of his way to pivot. Actually, maybe he did, because I saw in the chat he was talking about Tatum being too expensive for him. So, I mean, I don't know. I get where he's coming from with the point that you just made about the community, but at the same time, I mean, Tatum was the play, in my opinion.
Yeah, another thing about the community, like sometimes you make a play, it might be a little wacky. Doesn't mean you have like crazy conviction in that you'd want everyone to play it. Like sometimes I'd lock in Boucher, ape in on Boucher, Chris. Doesn't mean I want everyone to also ape in on Boucher, lock him in. Speaking of Boucher, actually, I can't believe he got hurt. I think I jinxed it. Do you know? How did he get hurt?
Landed funny.
Did he land funny?
Probably.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's see. I think Ronald Jones asking for the code. Ronald, if you're in here, just type yes, and then I'll just send you the code here in the YouTube, and then hopefully you're the one who gets it. But if not, if someone else posts it for whatever reason, which I highly doubt, I'll just reset it for you later. But let me know if you're here. I'll just send it in the YouTube, and then you can copy it and paste it. But yeah, let's see. Rondo said he didn't play last night. No success post, but don't be afraid to show Rondo's pass. I actually had it open, but the tweet was deleted. So NBA Hustle tweet was deleted.
Just search like Rondo Paul George. You'll probably find it.
Actually, I don't.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't show that. There's some questionable stuff that could pop up on that feed.
Exactly. That's why I closed it right in time. Let's see. Rondo Chris from Hasty says Rondo's on the road to a milli maker.
Yeah, he's grinding
all his life. Triggers gold. Over under was 220-ish from Hasty. Top shot packs get in ASAP. Is there a top shot pack, Chris?
Let me see. I didn't know.
Hope
it wasn't 230.
Is Top Shot dust, Chris?
I think these common packs sort of are. Because I got a common pack yesterday. It was like $10. Three. What am I saying? 3 bad moments. So I think I actually lost money for the first time on a Top Shot pack because obviously as they release more, the value of them is going to go down.
Yeah, I just joined late. There's 100,000 people ahead of me, and I think there's 100,000 packs here. So I don't know.
Same.
I don't know. Yeah, let's go open up DK here. That was your boy Brandon. I think I said that. He's the one who mentioned the Top Shot. Hasty says Austin trying to build community for sure. Him and Little Biscuit are solid moral compasses for our gang. Gotta look for each other. Spread the love. Agree. I think that just comes with time. But I also think like everyone here is everyone has each other's backs here. So sometimes you're just like busy crunching, like sometimes it's just like maybe not stressful, but just like a lot going on leading up to lock, and you're just like all over the place yourself with your entries, with your lineups, all the different slates you might be playing. Like you might just not have time to just bring something up. So there's also that. I think.
Yeah, I'll say Austin has been one of the best members since he joined. Just always helping everyone, always active,
100%.
Always doing all that. So we definitely have to remove the cap for him, or at least raise it to like 10 builds per minute, because that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, we actually should do that. I have a message here. Sticky note says usage rate. No, that's usage rate game log. That's the wrong one. It's the other sticky note underneath. It says rate throttling logic adjustments. So I have that written down. Go over it. But yeah. Yep. Rondo says he sent it in a DM. I can't open it because then Chris's face disappears here, so can't open it. But yeah, where did Ronald go? Ronald, get back in here. I need to send you the code. But yeah, Hasty says, Chris, anyone getting in on the Topps MLB Top Shot ripoff?
Yeah, I tried, but I was a little too late. But I tried. I've kind of heard some bad things about it. Hasty says ripoff as well, so maybe I'm glad I didn't get any packs. But I was trying to.
Yeah. I don't think they're like videos too, right? It's just like picture cards, kind of with like backgrounds. Yeah. Austin sent the meta cart, Chris, in the chat here. Let's go over your DK, Chris. Decisions here. So we got a lot of solid crunchers here. Chipotle, Chrissair. Who else do we have? I guess that's it here that I know of. Yeah. What went your way here, Chris, on DK?
Yeah. So this one, I mean, this swap was a lot easier because we could actually fit in Derek White here. Only 39%. So people. I mean, we obviously had DeMar here. People were all over him. So maybe people didn't have or maybe they had too much salary, so they probably spent up for Luka, maybe KP here. But yeah, this build worked because we spent up for Tatum early. So we didn't have like a bunch of salary to spend up for after the DeMar news. So yeah, got to Derek White, got to Lonnie Walker. Just both of them crushed it. obviously Derek White had one of the best games on the slate point per dollar wise yesterday, so it was good to have him at 40% owned. That was basically the difference maker, kind of negated the Tatum 40 burger here at 30%. Embiid as well, 47%, 33 points at 10.5K. So both of the spend ups were kind of bad yesterday here on DK. Not bad plays, but just bad results. There's a big difference there. I like both of them a lot. So, yeah, I mean, these Spurs guys, they pretty much carried the lineup here.
Yep. Anyone else you want to go over, Chris, here? Anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's open up the slate then. Let's start getting into it. Exciting news today, actually, Chris. Mike James, he is playing today. So I wonder what his price is, actually. Haven't looked at it yet. Is he not in the pool?
Mike James, I'm not sure. Let me see. Probably not.
Like, is he not in the FanDuel or DK pool?
Probably not.
That's kind of... Let's see. Mike.
It's not FanDuel.
He's not on DK. I just checked. Just Mike Muscala. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. He's been playing out of his mind over in the EuroLeague. I think he's the top scorer over there. Let's see. EuroLeague scoring.
Which league was he in?
It's like the Russian... He was on the Moscow team.
So then is it a different league?
What is
There's a bunch of different leagues.
Yeah, this one, he's CK. Mike James. Yeah, it's EuroLeague here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the stats, though? Let's see. Players, I'm guessing? Stats?
Down.
Yeah, right here. So he's been like 20 points per game. I think the scoring is quite a bit lower there. So he's been playing pretty well. I think this guy, Chris, he was also in the NBA before. Shved. Do you remember him?
Yeah, he was on the Knicks. I think Timberwolves as well for a little bit, but I remember him on the Knicks.
I think he was playing with like AK-47 as well, right? Kurlenko?
Where?
Wasn't he?
In Moscow?
No, in the NBA, I thought.
Don't think so.
You sure?
Unless he was on Brooklyn. I don't think he was on Brooklyn. He was on the Nets.
Let's see. Philadelphia, Houston, Knicks, Minnesota. Oh, yeah, Minnesota. He was in Minnesota. I think Kevin Love.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's also a beast, actually. EuroLeague's pretty fun to watch, actually. Quite underrated, I think. But I guess the time zones are kind of rough, depending on where you live. So, who's the other guy? There's a Devin Booker, actually, in here. He's like a center lob. He's a lob threat. His scouting report would say that. Yeah, there's a Devin Booker in the EuroLeague. He's a beast. Mirotic here left the league as soon as, OG Bobby Portis broke his nose in practice. You can still kind of see it there. Faded the NBA, went to Barcelona instead. Had enough. Yeah, have you watched a EuroLeague game, Chris? Start to finish ever?
No, never.
Underrated. Hasty says EuroLeague is great ball. I feel like Hasty would like EuroLeague. Did I mention this, Chris? Hasty said Series 1 could be good for the MLB ones.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get it.
Yeah. Let's see. Justin missed his lineup review, Chris. He's here now.
Oh, scroll back, and I mean, the only question I had to him was the swap you made, because obviously he had DeMar originally because he swapped onto the Spurs, and then was the swap also to Drummond? Why did you have Drummond? Why did you like Drummond? Because you had him so low owned here. So what was the swap, if you remember? And who'd you have at center originally if you didn't have Drummond?
Nice. Some good questions. We'll see what he says. Yeah, Hasty on the EuroLeague says they zip it around. Everyone cuts all the time.
It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so many questions. He's right. Can you break it down, Chris? We can maybe write it out.
Yeah, just the one question. What got him onto Drummond? Was it the late swap? Was it just low owned? What was it?
Drummond? I mean, I'd lock in Drummond. So maybe Justin and I are same wavelength there. Lock in Drummond. Yeah, that's a good question. But let's get into the slate, Chris. He says Lakers run back with Schroeder and Drummond. with Porzingis instead of Luka where everyone else went. So it sounds like not a late swap.
Wait, go back. What's the bring back? He didn't have any Mavs.
He says...
Oh, he had KP? Oh, he won it with KP getting hurt. That's pretty crazy. So, yeah, he had KP here. So, yeah, that makes sense. But you obviously had DeMar, I guess. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you just had Lonnie originally. Okay, my next question is, did you have DeMar DeRozan originally?
Yep. Dinda here says crickets from Rainmaker and then retracts it right after Rainmaker, a.k.a. Justin, replies. So, he says 70% DDR, Chris, is what he had at the start.
Yeah, but did you have DDR in this lineup?
Oh, in this one? Maybe he just did like the mass late swap, so he doesn't actually know what this one had before, Chris. Because like if you have, well, he had 5 entries here.
He says hand builds all the time, so I don't know what to believe anymore.
He says late swap all, and then all caps he says yes.
Well, what happened to hand builds?
He says it was only 5 bullets, hand builds, dudes.
Okay, then, so he swapped in this lineup?
I guess so.
Okay, let's move on. We're 45 minutes into the show and haven't talked about a game yet, so let's get into it.
Yeah, well, anyway, shout out to Justin now that he's here, so you can hear. He says late swap by hand, dudes. Hand late swap. Yeah, 5 builds, you can definitely do hand build late swap. Says got the news, DDR was out, late swap by hand, all that cash. Bring it, he says. Bring it,
Make it rain.
But yeah, congrats, Justin. That's awesome. Love to see it. Yeah, big shout out. Love to see it. It's awesome stuff. But let's get into the slate, Chris. He says, well, one last thing, because this is awesome. He says 50K week for me, gents.
Yeah, what a beast.
That is awesome. You need to keep it going at that rate. Do 50K a week. You can get like 200K in a month. I think you can do it. Yeah. You want to get into it, Chris. 40 minutes in, 50 minutes in, like you said. Can we blaze through the slate here? Get into the other part of the show? Yeah. So seven games here. Quickly, any favorite news today?
I mean, not really much news outside of Trae Young being out. I think that's the big news. Let me just check. Yeah, so Trae Young, he's the guy that's out. Not really any guys who are questionable that really matter outside of Capella, I guess. I don't know if he's going to play. We have Jalen Brown out once again with the shoulder injury. Joe Bell out once again. So pretty much the same guys who are missing. Kemba back-to-back, so he's out. Yeah, it's looking like a pretty good slate, I think.
And then we have, I think, Rondo questionable, but that probably doesn't matter at all, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. First game, Chris, Miami Heat, Atlanta Hawks. Miami first. We have Oladipo out for them. I guess he's noted here because he's scheduled to come back start of next month, so hopefully soon. Poor guy, always getting hurt. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Love that guy. He's a good player. Iggy is in. Gabe Vincent probable. Hero questionable. Projected starters. Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Robinson, Ariza, and Adebayo. Who do you like on the Heat, Chris?
Not too much here for me. Butler and Bam, they're the guys that we usually like to play when they're healthy. They're healthy now. Dragic is in. Hero probably in. Nunn, Robinson, they're all in. So it's just Butler and Bam who I'm interested in. Can't do it in cash games here on this slate, but I think in tournaments, one of the two is viable. If I had to pick one guy, probably go with Bam on both sites just because he's quite a bit cheaper than Butler. I like the upside that he has, especially if Capella is out. I think he could absolutely crush a Kongwu if he starts. So yeah, I like Bam here in tournaments. I prefer him over Butler a little bit for his price tag. So yeah, that's the only guy for me. Nothing in cash games.
Okay. One last thing, Chris, on Justin, I think. Hasty says, I want to see if you know this one. Hasty says, Justin knows ... like Bo. And then Austin says, I bet Justin or Chris know Bo. So do you know that Bo thing, Chris?
No.
Bo knows?
Oh, Bo Horvat?
No.
I don't know what it's from. All I know is Bo Horvat.
It says,
I know Rondo always says Bo knows.
Yeah, Bo knows. It's a Nike advertising campaign, Chris.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I've heard that, but I know Bo Jackson as well, but I didn't know it was from there.
Yeah, it's Bo Jackson. You're getting a lot of flack for it now, Chris.
Yeah, we got news that Capella is out. So
Oh god.
let's see. Yeah, okay.
Changing the topic about Bonos. But yeah, we got to stay focused here, Chris. So I guess that's good because we're going over the Hawks. Do you want to go over them at the end then, or what?
No, we can go over them now.
Okay. So we also have Danilo questionable as well, Chris. But yeah, let's go over Atlanta. Over there, we have Cam Reddish out, Chris Dunn out, DeAndre Hunter out, Capella out, like you just said, Gallinari questionable, Tony Snell doubtful. Projected starters, who do we have actually for projected starters now, Chris? Do you know?
Probably Collins at the 5 because Collins is
Collins?
back now. I'm placing some bets on him. That's why.
Oh yeah,
Little
play some bets. Yeah, I think we have Goodwin, Bogdanovich, Herter, Collins, and then not sure who the other guy would be there. Do you think Gallinari if he's in, Chris?
Yeah, they've started Gallinari at the 4 in the past when Collins has played and Capella has missed. But today, we'll see. I don't know. It depends on if Gallo plays or not. We should know. Oh wait, he's a game time decision, so we won't know. But we got Tony Snell out as well, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Okay, let's open up. Well, actually, do you want to go over the Hawks, Chris? Are you done your
Yep.
bets?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So John Collins is the guy here that gets the big bump now. Obviously, he was coming back from the injury. So minutes are a little bit of a concern, but I think it's his 3rd game back now, so he should be good to go. Good to play his normal minutes. He's 6'8" on DraftKings, 7'2" on FanDuel. So if we hear that he's still on restriction, then we probably can't play him. But I don't think he's going to be on one. I think he's going to play the full game here. So he's probably going to be one of my favorite plays at power forward now with this news. Obviously, Trae Young is out as well, so more usage to go to him. So I love John Collins here. He's probably going to be very chalky now with Capella out. Lou Will as well. Like I think all these guys are viable. Goodwin, Trae Young. Goodwin's priced up a little bit on FanDuel. They priced him at $5K on DraftKings. He's 3-4, so he's an easy lock there on DK. Pretty much the free square. And on FanDuel, he's kind of expensive, so it's hard to play him. But yeah, I love him on DK. Everyone's going to play him. Herter, Lou Will, Bogdanovich, they're all viable. I think they're all priced where they should be, maybe outside of Lou Will, who's probably a little too cheap for me on DraftKings for 4.3K. On FanDuel, he's 5.2, so that's where he should be. But yeah, I mean, all these guys are viable. Bunch of injury news here. 2 of their top guys are out in Trae Young and Capella, so I'm very interested in the Hawks here.
Okay. Before we move on to the next game, Chris, Justin here is talking about the Tecmo Super Bowl. Bo Jackson on the NES original Nintendo. Have you played that one? 1991, I think. What is this?
No, I have not.
Got to play it. Got to look at it, Chris. You also have to look at the Bo Knows commercials after, I think. Catch up on that. Everyone's going off on that. But yeah. Did you know Austin actually, I think he's, like, he brought his whole circle here. Like, him and Dinda. He's in, like, the voice chat with his other boy. Like, he's got a few guys in here. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course I knew that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a beast.
He is a beast, for sure. Let's see. Yeah. Next game, Chris, we have Boston, Brooklyn. So let's get into that one. Boston side, Kemba Walker out, Brown out, Rob Williams out, Evan Fournier probable, so that's good to see. I wonder if that makes anything interesting here on the Boston Celtics side for tournaments. Projected starters, Smart, Langford, Tatum, Ogilvy, and Thompson. Tristan Thompson, what are your thoughts here on the Celtics?
Yeah, so I mean, similar spot to yesterday, but even better with Kemba out. So no Jalen Brown once again. We got a really good matchup this time. Yesterday was against the Suns, one of our least favorite matchups. Today we got the Nets, who are one of our most favorite matchups. I don't know if that made sense. They're one of our favorite matchups. So yeah, I like the guys up top here. I like the guys that get obvious bumps. So we have Jason Tatum once again, 9.5K on FanDuel. I think that's just way too cheap here. for his new role. I mean, not really a new role, but he's going to take a bunch of shots. He's going to probably, I don't know, if I had to bet, I would probably give him like 55 plus fantasy points here. I just think this is a really good matchup for him. So I like him a lot here. More so on FanDuel, like I said, where he's 9.5. DraftKings, he's 10K. So still a decent play there. But we'll have to kind of wait and see how the build kind of shakes out with this new Collins news, because Tatum is a little more expensive there and shares a position with John Collins. But I do like him a lot in tournaments on both sites, cash games, like I said, more so on FanDuel, but still viable on DraftKings. And then we have Marcus Smart. I think he's 6.9K on both sites. Yes, he is. I think he's also a solid last piece guy. Maybe not last piece, maybe a little bit of a priority here, because like we said, Jalen Brown, Kemba Walker, they're both out. Evan Fournier is back, though, so it's not like a smash spot here. Just because he's back kind of takes some shots away from someone like Marcus Smart. So I'm not going to go all in on Marcus Smart or anything like that, but he's a really good play here for his price tag, I think. And then we have Tristan Thompson once again with Robert Williams out. Tristan Thompson is 4.8 on FanDuel, 4.9 on DK. I think he's a solid piece on both sites. Just he provides us with pretty good value here for his price tag, playing around 33 minutes per game in this role. Really good matchup against the Nets, like I've said a few times now. So I like Thompson there as the last piece. And then Fournier, I mentioned him shortly. I think he's probably interesting in tournaments just because he's going to be the third option here now with the guys that they're missing. I'm not sure if he had COVID or if he was just out with the protocols. Kind of makes a difference because if he did have it, I think he would be limited. I don't think he had it.
He was too happy on Twitter. I think he didn't have it.
Yeah, so I think Fournier is sneaky here. I like him a lot in tournaments. Obviously can't do it in cash games, but wouldn't be surprised to see him in the winning lineup today.
Yeah. Question, Chris, for you. Pop quiz. How old do you think Justin is? We have his age here now.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I would say like, I don't know, before I would say young, I would say like 24, 25, but he knew the bone nose thing, right?
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
was
so I would say
1991.
I'd say 45 now.
45? Yeah, 39 is what we have.
Yeah. He talks like a young guy, so before I thought, like I said, I thought he would be like around my age, but yeah, the bone nose thing kind of gave it away.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, because Austin here had like a, what did he have? He had like a tribe reference here with his bow nose this, bow nose that. Says he's showing his age. Now we got everyone's age out here. We know how old everyone is. Also, Justin says, he said he's solo here. Just found Chris on Twitter a few years ago.
Yeah, I know Justin's solo.
Huh?
I know Justin is solo. But yeah, also Hasty, he's the guy that always says he's so old, but I mean, he's one of the younger guys here.
That's true.
He always acts like he's the old man.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think he likes doing that. It is very true.
He's like one of the younger guys here, and he's always acting like he's the old man.
Yeah. I wonder what he's going to act like when he gets like 10, 15, 20 years older. Like, that's funny. Also, an idea from Hasty Chris. What do you think of this? He says, once this pandemic stuff is over, we should do a Crunchers weekend in Vegas, a little takeover. What do you think of that?
I'm down.
Let's do it. That'd be good. David Correa, Chris, he says he's only 16 years old. He's probably playing DFS on his parents' account, something like that.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
And then Austin says, Dinda is the oldest DFS player I know.
Yeah, Dinda's like 7 decades.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's using the crunch tool. He knows how to navigate it. I think that's pretty awesome. I love that. It's also cool. We have like the oldest DFS player in the industry with us. That's awesome as well. Let's see. Hasty says my knees are 75-ish. That's a good one. Okay, Brooklyn, Chris. We have KD out, Claxton out, Chris Chioza out, Tyler Johnson out, Elijah Johnson out, and then Mike James in, but he is not in the player pool. So kind of wondering, I guess it doesn't affect anything since you can't play him, but projected starters, Kai Irving, Shamet, Harris, Jeff Green, and Griffin. Just on the Mike James thing, Chris, does that really change things? Like, let's just say he played like 20 minutes. Does that affect the Brooklyn Nets or not really, since nobody can play him?
Um, no, I don't think it matters at all. I mean, he's not going to take shots away from Kyrie. Like, Kyrie's the guy that I'm interested in here. He's probably going to play like 16 to 20 minutes, but it's not going to matter at all, in my opinion. Like I said, Kyrie's the guy that I want here. He's 9.7K on FanDuel, 10-1 on DK. This is the spot that we love with no Harden, no Durant. So it's the high usage spot here for Kyrie. We've played him 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, sorry, and then 2 days ago he played against Toronto. He had the big game. He's been putting up big numbers, playing a lot of minutes. So, I mean, I love Kyrie here on both sites. Probably like him a little more on FanDuel where he's a little cheaper. But on DraftKings, if you land there, I definitely don't mind it. So I like him a lot. He's the guy that I'm interested in the most here from the Nets. If you want to play some of these other guys, some of these value guys, I think Joe Harris is viable. He's 5'3" on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 5'9". So DraftKings, a little too expensive for me, but I think on FanDuel is the last piece. He's viable. TLC could be interesting for the minimum on DK. Playing around 20 minutes per game. We know he can kind of get hot if his shot is falling. So I don't mind that as a value piece. Probably wouldn't do more than like 10% of him, just because he's pretty inconsistent. But if you're in that 3K range with nowhere else to go, don't mind TLC as the last piece. And then Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff, 4.8 on DK. I also think that's pretty interesting. He's 4.7 on FanDuel. Sort of the same thing as TLC, last piece guy. If you can't spend up anywhere else and just need to play someone in that price range, I think Jeff Green is fine.
Okay, two things. Vian Jones said this earlier, like 15 minutes ago. He said, narrative of the day, Kyrie averaging 60 DK points versus his old team, Boston Celtics, Chris. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, and we also get that narrative. So, I mean, just makes Kyrie a better play. First game this season went for 58. Second game, 57. So, yeah, I love it.
Yep. And then another thing on Tatum, Chris, do you think we'll see a bit of reduced ownership on him just because I guess he kind of, well, I don't know, like did he burn people? Like he kind of had like a low output yesterday. Do you think you might see a little bit less ownership maybe in tournaments for Tatum in a good position today?
No way. I mean, people are way better than that. Maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, but yeah, there's no chance.
Okay, got it. Trigger saying, who's the small forward that's going to win us the slate, Chris?
It could be Quebec's own Lugans Dort.
Lugans Dort, yeah, he's a beast. He's been on fire. Like, he's getting the superstar treatment, resting back-to-backs, resting some games, so he's a stud now.
What do they call people from Quebec? Quebecois? Quebecois? What does that mean?
Quebecois?
Quebecois. Yeah.
Hasty would know.
Native of Quebec, yeah. He's a Quebecois.
Yeah. Does he look like one?
I don't think so.
The scene there, everyone thinks they're an underdog out there. Or, yeah. But yeah, next game, Chris. Clip show against the Rockets. The Wall Star show. Let's go over the clip show first. So we have Pat Bev out, Kawhi Leonard out, Serge Ibaka out, Rajon Rondo questionable, Reginald Jackson and Paul George both in. Projected starters, Reginald, Luke Kennard, Paul George, Marcus Morris, and Zubats. Anything here, Chris, from on the clip show with Kawhi out?
Yeah, so, I mean, we've done it all year. When one of these guys misses, you want to play the other guy. Paul George, he's just been playing out of his mind in the last, 10 or so games. Yeah, you can pull up his game log. Like, he's consistently getting over 50. People like to play him now. Like, he's just playing like old Paul George, like he played on OKC. So he looks awesome. Very aggressive, making all the right reads. So I like Paul George a lot. He's a lock for me on FanDuel for 9.4K. DraftKings, he is 9.3K, so super solid play there as well. I love him on both sites. I'm probably going to play him in cash games on both sites. So he's the main guy for me. Outside of him, I'm not too interested in these guys. Maybe for last pieces like Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard. These guys are probably more tournament viable. Terrence Mann as well, probably interesting a little bit, especially if this game blows out. against the Rockets. 10-point spread here for the Clippers. So maybe some of these young guys like Terrence Mann and Kennard could be interesting in tournaments, but in cash games, I think I'm just going to focus on Paul George for the most part, and then maybe Marcus Morris as a value piece.
Okay. Let's see. Trigger says Dort is the only small forward. I feel like I have to spend up to Butler, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think I want to spend up for Butler here today. I mean, I think he's more of a cash game spend up if you do want to spend up at small forward. I don't know. I like Dort. I like the upside that he gives us. Obviously, he's been playing great recently. He's questionable though, so still have to wait for that news. I also like Bogey quite a bit with no Trae Young, no Clint Capella, 7.5K against the Heat. Only implied to score 103, so people likely won't play him, but he's getting a lot of minutes. Usage will go up even higher with Trae Young out, so I like Bogey. He's pretty sneaky. So yeah.
Okay, and then Trigger says OKC Paul George is back, Chris. Looks like it actually.
Yeah, that's what I said. I love it.
Until the playoffs come, though, then we get to see playoff P, right, Chris?
I don't know about that.
We'll see. DC says Zublaka.
Zublaka? Yeah, I'm fine with him as well. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty solid. I don't think he hits the ceiling too often, but I mean, he's pretty consistent with his floor, so don't mind him here against the Rockets. Played 32 minutes last game. So yeah, as long as he gets 30 plus minutes, he could crush.
Okay, let's go over Houston. Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, Kevin Porter Jr., Exum, Eric Gordon, Augustine all out. Danwell House probable. Projected starters: Wallstar, House, Tate, Olynyk, and Christian Wood. Seems like a good spot here for John Wall, Chris, with I guess Kevin Porter out, a few guys out. Hey, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm not too high on John Wall here. I mean, I'm really not too high on the Rockets here. Pretty tough matchup against the Clippers. What are they implied to score here? Let's see, 107 points. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not too high on John Wall. They've been getting blown out recently. Obviously, if it stays close, he could be the guy. But I don't know. I don't love the Rockets here tonight, honestly.
Yeah, I meant more for tournaments, obviously. Not obviously, but
yeah, even in tournaments, I don't know. I don't love it. Point guard's loaded today, so if you go John Wall, you're kind of getting off of that. Maybe like Kelly Olynyk for 5-2 on FanDuel. I don't mind that. He's been playing pretty well recently, playing a lot of minutes as well, so I don't mind Kelly O. But I don't know. I don't love the Rockets, honestly.
Vian Jones says Armani, anyone?
Yeah, if he starts again. He started last game, 34 minutes, 26 fantasy points. I think I played him in the Turbo slate. 3-6 on DraftKings now, so that's a better price tag than FanDuel for 4-2. So I don't mind him on DK.
Okay, let's jump to the next one. Cavs against the Hornets. Cleveland side first. Dotson out. Jeremiah Martin, he signed, what is this, a two-way contract with them. Projected starters: Darius Garland, Sexton, Coro, Kevin Love, and Jarrett Allen. Anything here, Chris?
This is probably my least favorite game of the slate, honestly. I think it's the lowest over-under, 211. Pretty tight spread, but yeah, I'm not too interested in the Cavs here. They're healthy now. Jarrett Allen is playing. Love is playing. Sexland is playing. Yeah, I don't know. Nance is in. Nothing here for me.
Okay, let's move on. Trigger says, give me Kelly O over double T, Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, definitely a viable pivot.
Okay, Charlotte side, Chris, Monk, Darling, LaMelo Ball out. LaMelo Ball being mentioned because he's expected to be back started next month. Projected starters: Graham, Terry Rozier, McDaniels, Bridges, and Carey. I've been saying this the past few shows, Chris. Rozier, he's trying to show out before LaMelo Ball comes back. Obviously more usage here for him up until then. Not saying his usage will completely disappear, but still a lot more opportunity for him right now. Do you think that's something we can take advantage of today in tournaments?
I mean, I think he's a decent play. I don't think we need it here today. Like same thing with John Wall. Point guard's loaded today. We have spend ups like Kyrie, Westbrook. We have guys down low like Neto, Goodwin. So I'm not really going to be in this mid-range at point guard today, and don't love anyone else here on the Hornets. Bridges, they priced him up on FanDuel now. So yeah, nothing here for me.
Okay. Moving on, we have Vian Jones says he's fading Cleveland, Charlotte, Chris.
Fading Cleveland, Charlotte. Yeah, that's what I said as well.
Yeah. Hasty says he loves Dort as well. Does Dort play the right way, Chris? The hasty brand of basketball?
Yeah, Dort plays hard.
Yeah. Next up, Wizards against the Thunder. Let's go over Washington first. So Hachimura out for them. Projected starters: Westy, Neto, Beal, Bertans, Alex Len. We've got the narrative of the scoring title here. Well, not directly here. Curry's not playing Beal today, but Beal has that scoring title narrative for him for the end of the season, pretty much. So does that make him kind of a safer play, Chris, in your eyes?
Not really. I mean, he's been averaging over 30 points for 2 years now. So I kind of said it last slate. He's going to get you 30 real life points every game, and then whatever extra stuff he does is just extra. So I mean, that's kind of how he reaches his ceilings. If he's having a good rebound game, good assist game, good stocks game, but he's always going to give you the floor of 30 real life points. So for that reason, he's always interesting. But FanDuel priced him up now. We're getting him at 8.5K for the past few games. Now he's 9K, so he's right where he should be. We don't need to play him anymore. We have Paul George for 400 more, so much rather go there. The guys that I'm interested in are I think Neto is probably my favorite Wizard, honestly, today. He's very cheap on both sites, 3-4 on DK. FanDuel, he's 3-6. He got the start last game, played 36 minutes. Looked pretty good, honestly, so I like Neto. I think he's going to be my favorite Wizard. Just point per dollar wise. He played 36 minutes last game, so really good play, I think, for his price tag here, assuming he starts again. And then Westbrook, obviously up top. This is the revenge game against OKC in OKC. So it's a spot that I like quite a bit. I think he fits better on DraftKings. He's 11K on both sites, I believe, but on FanDuel we have Kyrie Irving for 9.7 on FanDuel for Kyrie. So I'd just rather spend down a little to Kyrie than go to Westbrook. But I think on DK you can play Westbrook over Kyrie because Kyrie is more expensive over there. So yeah, those two are my favorite guys. And then with Denny Abdia hurt now, out for the season, I think Bertans is going to probably end up starting. Even if he doesn't start, he should play a ton of minutes here. So I like him a lot. He's 4-3 on DraftKings. FanDuel, he's 4-8. I think he's a super solid play in cash games, tournaments as well. I love the ceiling that he could have with his shot if it's falling. He's a chucker, so I like him a lot. Gafford, he's kind of priced up now. He's 5-3 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 3-8, so still a really good price for Gafford on DraftKings. He's been a beast as well, just playing super well off of Westbrook, getting open, lob threat, all that good stuff. So I like Gafford quite a bit on DraftKings for 3-8. I think he's a really solid value guy. FanDuel is way too expensive, like I said. But yeah, ton of interest in this team. We always have interest in the Wizards just because they play at such a high pace. They're implied to score 121 here, so that's the highest on the slate. So we're obviously going to have interest.
Okay. Via Jones, Chris, on his Wizards, he says Dort seems like the kind of player who could break a slate.
Yeah, I love Dort on FanDuel today. DraftKings, he's 6'8", so I mean, we'll get into that right now, I guess.
Yeah, Trigger says Dort best play at small forward. Tatum, Chris, got a note here, says playing today, but Stevens says he's going to get a rest day in the near future. Is that a good thing? Good thing for us to know, or doesn't matter today?
I think it's a good thing to know. If they're saying they're going to rest him in the future, that means they're not going to rest him today. Well, at least that's how I take it. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. OKC, Muscala out. Gabriel Deck, he is out. Signed his juicy contract, not playing at all. Who's the biggest player in the NBA who did that? We've had some guys doing that, right?
I don't know. Mozgov?
Is it Mozgov? Yeah, maybe. Josh Hall out. Dort questionable. Pokuševski in. Projected starters: Maledon, Dort, Pokuševski, Baisley, and Brown. All this Dort talk, Chris, but he's been questionable. I think he's been resting a few games recently. Any chances he's not sitting today?
Yeah, definitely, because we saw him not play either side of the back-to-back their last set of games. So kind of makes me think that he wasn't resting and he actually has an injury. So, I mean, who knows if he does play here. Great matchup against the Wizards, our favorite matchup that we like to target. He's the top guy here for me, in my opinion. 5.7 on FanDuel, just way too cheap if he does play. DraftKings, he's 6.8, like I said earlier, so that's too expensive for me. Rather go to Baisley, who's 6.4. I like him a lot as well. He's playing more minutes now, 37 in each of his last 2 games, so I like Baisley quite a bit. Like I said, his price tag is more appealing on DraftKings. Baisley is 6.7 on FanDuel, so prefer him on DK and then prefer Dort on FanDuel. And then I think Pokuševski's also quite interesting here. He's 4.8 on FanDuel. Love that price tag in tournaments. Cash games, I don't know if you need it today, but I love that price tag in tournaments. Last game, he only played 5 minutes and then went out with the illness. So I think that will kind of get people off of him. But, I mean, we've seen Pokuševski have huge games, so I like him quite a bit in this matchup. He's 5.5 on DK, which is a little more expensive. So he's going to be tournament only for me there. But like I said, I like Pokuševski a lot here. Teo Maladone, 5.2 on DK, 4.6 on FanDuel. FanDuel price is a little better once again. But like I've said, point guard is loaded today, so it might be a little hard to get to him. But yeah, all these guys are viable. I won't say all of them. I'll say the starters are viable here. So I like them in this matchup against the Wizards.
Okay, moving on, Chris. 2 more games left. Memphis at Portland. Grizzlies side first, Jonas Valanciunas out, Porter, Winslow, Jaren Jackson Jr. all marked in. Projected starters, Ja Morant, Grayson Allen, Brooks, Anderson, and Tillman. Anything on the Grizzlies side, Chris?
Yeah, so with Joe Val out, Tillman's been starting for them. Tillman is 5K on FanDuel. I think that's a decent price tag in this matchup against the Blazers. Played 41 minutes his first game. That one obviously went into double OT. So if he didn't play those 10 extra minutes, it would have been 31. And then last game he played 28. So he's been getting 28 plus minutes in his starts. So I don't mind Tillman here for 5K in this matchup. Like I said, I think he's a decent last piece in cash games. Jaren Jackson is back now. Still on a heavy minutes restriction, but he had a huge game last time out. 36 fantasy points, I believe, on FanDuel and only played 17 minutes. But I mean, he's way too expensive, I think, or at least on DraftKings, he's way too expensive. On FanDuel, 5.8K. So maybe you can do that in tournaments. I mean, he has a ton of upside with the way that he blocks shots. Like I said, only 17 minutes last game and got 4 blocks. So I like him in tournaments on FanDuel. Not going to get any ownership on him. So, I mean, I think it's interesting for sure. And then Ja Morant, he's always viable. Price is creeping up a little bit now on FanDuel, 7.5K. DraftKings 7.2. I like that a lot in tournaments, just because you can fit him into different positions on DraftKings. So I like him more there. Also a little cheaper. And then Brandon Clark as well. He's viable. 3.9 on DraftKings, 4.1 on FanDuel. Don't mind him as a last piece either.
Okay. Portland side, we have Derek Jones Jr. questionable. Keljin Blevins, he is in. Do you know who that guy is, Chris?
No, I don't know that. Blevins.
Okay, I'll pull him up. Don't worry. He's in. Nurkic in. McCollum in. Projected starters: Lillard, Cullum, Norm Powell, Rocco, and Nurkic. Anything on the Blazers squad, Chris, today?
I think I don't want to play the guards here. They've kind of been underperforming. Dame and CJ. I don't love them. I think Nurkic is actually the guy who's pretty interesting here today. His minutes have gone up. I think last game they mentioned that he's going to play high 20s now, and then he played 29. So they stuck to their word. I think Nurkic playing 29 minutes here in this matchup against the Grizzlies is a pretty good one for his price tag. So he's 5.8 on FanDuel, DraftKings 5.2. I think on DraftKings he's probably going to be in my lineup for sure with this new minutes restriction that he has, new lifted minutes. So I like him over there on FanDuel. It's more of a question where he's priced up a little more, like I said, 5.8K, but he's going to be the only guy I'm interested in here from the Blazers. So yeah, I like him in tournaments and cash games as well, just because we've seen the upside that he has, and if he's playing around 30 minutes, I mean, he could break a slate for sure.
Okay, let's take a look at Keljin quickly, Chris. This guy, pull up his basketball reference, 25 years old. What
Yeah,
is he?
I also know Tyler Blevins.
You know Tyler Blevins? Who's that?
Another guy.
Is this guy a beast, Chris?
I don't think so.
Where did he play before? College stats. I wonder if Hasty knows this guy.
Of course he knows him.
12 points a game last season. That's not bad. 6 rebounds, 2 assists. It's not bad at all. You think he picked it up, Chris? Worked hard? Year 1, year 2, year 3?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing minutes before. He just got better. That's nice. Love to see that. Hasty says, Jaren Jackson's such a solid young player. Need more blue-collar guys like him to get some shine.
Jaren Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Jaren Jackson.
What do you like about him?
Is he a blue-collar guy, though?
Yeah, what does he mean by that here?
What is blue? Isn't blue-collar, like, tough?
Like, maybe the way I took it is, because I know Hasty says, like, a lot of players these days, they play, like, league ball or whatever. What's it called? Like, the...
Wait, no, blue-collar worker is like a manual labor worker, so that would mean he's, like, a tough guy.
I think
like
he meant, like, maybe he didn't get, like, much attention, like, in high school or, like, as a prospect and worked his way up and kind of got into the NBA without getting, like, pampered throughout his basketball career as a young player. Because he says that about young players, like, they get quite pampered, quite comfortable early on in their careers.
Yeah, because I was going to say his game doesn't really reflect that. I mean, he's like a three-point shooter, kind of soft player, honestly. So, yeah, that's why I was a little confused. But, yeah, what you said makes sense.
Yeah, Trigger says LeBron's a white-collar guy.
What does that mean?
Like, he had it a bit easier before the NBA.
Before the NBA?
Hasty says he had a Hummer in grade 8.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably at that point, he was already a star at that point. But before then, I don't think so.
Yeah, not before then, but grade 8 and beyond. Had a Hummer, Hasty says. Yeah. Hasty loves that comment, the white collar on LeBron. Hasty also says he likes Nurkic as well. Hasty's correct. He says not grade 8, but like sophomore year, Chris Hummer.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't doubt it at that point when he was already like a mega star. But I think before, I mean, he probably had it tough in Ohio, Akron.
Yeah. Hasty also, yeah. We can get into that another time. But yeah, when did you get your Hummer, Chris?
I don't have a Hummer.
Sophomore year? Hummer?
No.
Okay. Where are we at? We are last game here. So Denver Nuggets, Chris, Golden State Warriors. Yeah, Trigger saying he was spoon-fed with the silver spoon. Fed with the silver spoon. Deshaun says Tatum or Paul George, Chris?
Tatum or Paul George? Give me Paul George.
Okay. Yeah, also in this game, Trigger says don't sleep on Toscano Anderson if he is back today, Chris. But let's get into it. Nuggets, Warriors, Golden State side. Toscano Anderson questionable. Pascal out. Bazemore out. Projected starters Curry, Oubre, Wiggins, Green, and Kevon Looney. Yeah, what do you think of this JTA thing, Chris, quickly, to just address what Trigger said, if he is in?
I don't know. I don't love it, honestly. It's probably because Bazemore's out, but I don't know. Should probably see 25 plus minutes here. Definitely more of a tournament option, but I'm not going to play Toscano Anderson. I don't love that play. I don't really like him as a player, honestly. Yeah, so I'm not going to play JTA. The guy I'm interested in here is probably Kelly Oubre. I think he's pretty interesting on DraftKings. He's been coming off the bench with Bazemore starting in the past couple of games, but Bazemore's out now with health and safety protocols, so we expect Oubre to go back to the starting lineup. Oubre is only 5.8K on DraftKings, so I think that's a really good price tag for him. Most likely going to play him over there on DK. On FanDuel, he's 6.8K, so that's where he should be, in my opinion. Even in this role, that's where we had him before when he was starting. So, yeah, I really like him on DraftKings. I think we can take advantage of that price. And then he's probably like the only guy I'm interested in here. It's a pretty tough matchup. The spread is only 2.5, which is kind of kind of confusing to me because I would expect Denver to be larger favorites here against the Warriors. But yeah, Curry, he's viable, I guess. He's been playing out of his mind, had a down game last time out, so no one's going to play him. But I think in tournaments, you can play him for sure, just because I think he's a guy that's going to get reduced ownership here after having the down game last time out. He's still priced as if he's just playing out of his mind, which he has been. So, yeah, I like him in tournaments. Can't do it in cash games here today. Just don't need it with all these other spend-ups we have at point guard like Kyrie. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Oubre's the main guy here on DraftKings.
Do you think tight spread there? It's got to be because of Curry, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see some chat here on the Hummer, Chris. Fuel efficiency at its finest from Trigger. Definitely. Have you ever been in one?
No.
Do you know what it looks like inside? I've never been in one either. Do you think that, like, is it a nice car to drive?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Just like a status symbol car, kind of? Is it?
I don't think so anymore.
Yeah. Hasty says LBJ won an AAU chip in junior high. After that, life wasn't very hard, he thinks. Trigger says JTA, blue collar guy, gonna get those tough rebounds and throw those key passes, Chris.
Yeah, JTA, he's the definition of a blue collar guy, in my opinion. I mean, his game reflects that. I think his story does as well. I think he's from Oakland.
Deshaun says Morant or Smart on DK, Chris.
Give me Smart for a little bit less.
Okay. And then Nuggets, nothing noted here, nothing new. Projected starters, Campazzo, Barden, Gordon, Porter Jr., and Jokic. Just an NBA question, Chris. How have the Nuggets looked without Murray? Are they still quite competitive or like quite a bit less so?
I don't know. Like I said a few shows ago, I don't really watch NBA unless I'm watching my players. I haven't really been on Jokic much recently because we've had Embiid on the same slates with the Sixers missing a bunch of guys. So yeah, I haven't really watched them, honestly.
Hasty says, got picked up hitchhiking in Banff by the Outback Steakhouse Hummer. Craziest car ever, huge, so wide.
Yeah.
Hasty's got all kinds of good stories throughout his life, so shout out to Hasty. Trigger says all leather seats. Wendy's asking 3 good plays on FanDuel, 4K and under. So I think we're done the slate overview, right, Chris? Or no, you didn't do Denver, did you?
No, we need to do Denver. You did Golden State first.
Yeah, I just brought up Denver's lineups there. Who do you like on Denver?
Yeah, so if I'm playing someone here, it's going to be one of their starters. I think Jokic is kind of interesting. I think more so on DK where we have a ton of value pieces like Goodwin, Neto, Bertans. They're all cheap enough where we can spend up for someone like Jokic. We can pair him with Westbrook. I think that's viable. So I like him as a spend up, more so on DraftKings where we have more value. And then some of these other guys like Michael Porter Jr., I think he's priced where he should be. Pretty decent play. Trigger kind of mentioned it earlier. Small forward is kind of thin. So I don't mind Michael Porter Jr. He's 7'4" on FanDuel. DraftKings, I think he's a little bit more 7'7". So I like him more on FanDuel. Still a fine last piece on DraftKings. Will Barton, he's had a bigger role with Murray out. 5.5K on DraftKings. Don't mind that price tag. PJ Dozier, another guy who gets a little bit of a bump with Murray out. PJ is 3.8K on FanDuel. Pretty high usage guy, honestly, for his role off the bench. So don't mind playing him as a value piece just because we know he's going to get some shots up. He rebounds the ball well. Going to play probably 25 plus minutes. So for 3.8K, definitely don't mind that as a value piece. But yeah, I think all these guys are viable. It's a pretty good matchup against the Warriors. So if you play any of their starters, if you play PJ Dozier, I'm good with that.
Okay. Let's answer that question for Wendy, though. Reset these filters here. Go under, what is it, 4K, I think? Yeah, 4K and under, Chris. Let's do that. Let's go all the way down here. Yeah, what do you see here, Chris? What do you like? Actually, let me just also get rid of this filter.
Um, so I like Neto. Just mentioned Dozier as well. Okongwu if he starts with no Capella. So I really think it's just those top three guys.
Okay. We got PJ Washington starting today, Chris, for Charlotte.
PJ Washington starting over Vernon Carey, I guess. Doesn't
Yeah.
really change things.
Then we have Cody Martin starting as well. Trigger says center console of the Hummer, Chris, turns into a third seat in the front. Did you know that?
Does Trigger have a Hummer?
I think
Sounds
so.
like Trigger has a Hummer.
Ever since Trigger won that AAU chip in junior high. Hasty says, he said something. He says, guy drove it halfway up the ski hill for some promotion, the Hummer. Hasty got in it. But yeah, let's go over the three pillars, Chris, of the day. Three key plays here, starting with overall play of the day on FanDuel. So safest play, cash tournaments, favorite guy in today's slate. Who's that guy for you on FanDuel?
Safest cash guy. Favorite play. I'll go with Kyrie Irving here. I could go with Paul George. Could go with Tatum. They're all in that tier that I love. But I'll say Kyrie's my favorite out of the three.
Okay, and then is that water?
Yeah.
Plastic bottled water, Chris. You might as well drive a Hummer, killing the environment here. That's crazy. Your carbon footprint. Kidding. Value play, Chris. FanDuel. Who do you have?
I'll go with Neto here for 3-6.
Raul Neto. Tournament play. Who's your guy?
Tournament play. This one's always tricky. I have to think about who I talked about earlier in the show. Let's go with. Give me Lou Dort. He's going to be popular, but I mean, I think he's going to be popular for a good reason. So I mean, I love Lou Dort here today.
Okay. World King says you're drinking the secret stuff, Chris, in that bottle. Throwing us all off with the label there. It's not water.
Yeah. I need to steal Chris Paul's. He had the label. My name is Chris, so it would work.
You got to do it for a show. Get that like hockey tape, white tape, write it with like a Sharpie, red Sharpie, or blue Sharpie, or green Sharpie. Any of those would do.
We got Rondo out, by the way.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't matter, right?
No, not really.
Hasty says the Hummer he rode in was circa 97, so likely an older model. Literally had to climb up to get in. Trigger says he doesn't have a Hummer, Chris, after winning that AAU championship, but he did used to sell used Hummers.
Yeah, I think haven't they like gone downhill, or they went downhill for a bit. They were probably good when Hasty was in that 97 one, and then I think they went downhill in like 2010 to like 2014. I think now they're kind of remarketing, making their cars better. Yeah, I've either seen Drake or LeBron James advertise Hummer. So I think they're trying to make a comeback, but I think they were kind of down bad for a little bit of a stretch.
I thought they stopped making them for a while, but I'm excited that they make them. If they're making them again, they look nice. It's the American dream, the Hummer.
Yeah, we got Lou Dort playing, so that's good.
Nice. NBA question from Hasty says, do you think Pritchard will play Kyrie wearing his number 11? Could be spicy. Pritchard won't be intimidated. Will Kyrie dance on him?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie's going to dance on him. I'm fine with Pritchard here. I mean, Pritchard had that stretch at the start of the year where he was playing very well. Last 4 games, he's also been playing pretty well, but he had a down stretch for a little bit in the middle of the season. But yeah, I wouldn't play him today, but I think he's a decent. I like him as a player, though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Trigger, how much did the used Hummers go for? Like a nice one, not like a beaten up one, like I don't know, like a year, 2-year, 3-year-old Hummer. That's a nice one. Like how much did those go for? And then he also says Chris has plastic water bottle stash in the back of his Hummer. I love it. That is the American dream, Chris. Dinda says one more MMA takedown and Chris can get a used Hummer. Our boy Justin can get a used Hummer right now. So I wonder what he's gonna do with that. Let's see. Trigger says they're all electric now, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, I mean, I'm with it. I like that.
Are they soy? If they're electricus, soy boy Hummer.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I thought the whole point of the Hummer was to like kill the environment. Middle finger to all the all the hippies and the people who care about the environment. No?
Maybe. I don't know.
Trigger says Narrative Street about the the Kyrie thing, Pritchard thing. He says Pritchard got hurt, wouldn't play for DFS tonight though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he's starting, he'd be viable, but other than that, yeah, I wouldn't play him either.
Yeah, Pritchard, blue collar guy, will surprise Kyrie from Trigger Chris. VN Jones says he's getting Prowler. Love him.
What? Prowler? Is that a car?
Plymouth.
But he said love him. Did he say love him?
Prowler car, this one.
I hate this car.
Why?
It's one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen in real life.
Yeah, I think I used to have this as like the toy car. The what are they called? The Hot Wheels.
Yeah, you did.
And like it was always my least favorite Hot Wheel. Like it was always the one I would just like throw. Like there was if I ever needed like a Hot Wheels car that I didn't care about, just to like trash, I always reached for this one.
That's the test car.
Yeah, the test drive, right?
Yeah, when you put it down the path, that's the first one you put down.
Yeah, send this one down the path first with VN Jones in it. I mean, honestly, I think I like it more now than like before. Like it's kind of, they don't make them like, do they anymore?
I don't think so, no.
2002. So I feel like if you were driving that now, that'd be pretty cool actually. Like right now, maybe not like in 2002, but now I think I can see this being nice. VN Jones, do you see him in this one?
I mean, yeah, with his cruise ship, with all the stuff VN Jones comes with, I could see it.
Yeah.
Down in Miami, 305.
VN Jones, need to get a picture of him like this. Yeah, nice car. Let's see. Royal King says, I got some talk here. Hasty says, wow, open wheels in the front. David Chris says, OG car. VN Jones says, Florida car, Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
All day Florida car from Hasty. Royal King says, that's an old retirement car. Trigger says, you can get a 2010 Hummer for like 20K, but I'll dock off 5K if we have a plastic bonfire in the parking lot. I love it. That's America right there. That's awesome. Chris has like a stash of plastic bottles. He's got like a giant garbage bag in his room full of plastic bottles. He's just saving those, never recycling, just keeping them. Blue with Lambo doors for VN Jones, Chris.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. Let's do DK, Chris. Overall play here. Who do you have there?
DK, won't say Kyrie once again just because he's more expensive here. Give me Russell Westbrook for 11K.
Okay. We have Armani starting for Houston today, Chris. Confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need it. We have Goodwin, Neto, a bunch of other value guys, but he's there if you need it.
Okay. Value play, Chris, on DraftKings. Who do you have here?
Brandon Goodwin for 3-4.
And then tournament, who do you have?
I don't really want to say Dort here because he's more expensive. We talked about the other Thunder guy. Let's go with Baisley.
Okay. Wait, what? Baisley. There we go. Maybe you can answer this one, Chris. Hasty question for Rondo. He's asking what car he's going to get after he gets his milli.
Rondo?
Yeah.
Oh, probably a Tesla. Like I would think Rondo would want a Tesla.
Model S?
I don't think he cares. He just wants any.
Yeah. Trigger says I got hundreds of chlorofluorocarbon spray cans ready to go. Who's trying to self-tan? Yeah, I think Isn't there like, wasn't there something about like, I don't know, like before people were saying like that burns like a hole through atmosphere? So, I don't know, something weird like that. But yeah, Trigger knows his stuff. Like he is living the American dream. I love it. Like he's got the plastic bottles, selling the Hummers, getting the spray tans. Like that's awesome. Shout out to Trigger. He knows how to live it up. So if we go to Vegas, we definitely need Trigger there, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. He's the guy that would keep everyone in line. Not he would keep us up, so we wouldn't make a fool out of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Sean says Kyrie, Curry, or Paul.
Either Kyrie or Chris Paul, depending on the site, or either Kyrie or wait, did he say Chris Paul?
Yeah.
Or did he say
Or
Paul George?
Paul George, sorry. Well, yeah. Kyrie, Paul, Curry. George, Paul.
So, yeah, okay. So either Kyrie or Paul George, depending on the site. If it's DraftKings, I'll go Paul George. If it's FanDuel, I'll go Kyrie.
Yeah, he's giving a shout out to my new ride, Toyota Camry, solid car, reliable. Gets me from point A to point B, so no complaints there. Trigger says he keeps his spray tan bottles in the glove compartment of my Hummer. I love it. Trigger's awesome. Like every day, he just keeps getting better and better. Hasty says could see Rondo in the Tesla. Rondo says hate Chris and his plastic water bottles. Stay green in DFS and for the environment. # Tesla.
I have this, but it has a straw, so if too much air comes out when I have it while I talk a lot.
That's true. Yeah. Treat yourself 2021, Chris. Use the plastic, use the sprays, use the Hummer.
No, I mean, I have this that I usually use just when I'm talking a lot. I can't. It has a straw that I have to suck on, so I can't really do that while I'm talking a lot.
Yeah. Let's go over your cores, Chris. I would go on more on this topic if we could, but it's already like an hour 42, so kind of gotta go here. So you got Tatum, Irving, George Paul, Dort confirmed to start today, so that's good. And Neto. Why do you like these guys today on FanDuel, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this tier in the high 9K range. Kyrie without Harden, without KD, Paul George with no Kawhi, Tatum with no Brown, no Walker. So I love those guys. We have Dort for 5.7 here against the Wizards. Super good price tag for him. Neto, just too cheap. He's the value guy. I wanted to include a value guy here. Goodwin not really in play on FanDuel because he's 5K. Obviously, he's the lock on DraftKings. But yeah, that's what I like there with the core.
Okay. Which ones do you want to go over? First two here?
Yeah, first two.
Okay, expand. So Dozier.
Yeah, so I pretty much talked about this entire lineup because we have 5 people in the core outside of Tillman. So Tillman's the only other guy in here. Gonna get the start. Should see 28 plus minutes, so I like him. And then 3v3, Smart, Harris, Thompson versus PJ Dozier, Porter, and Nurkic. I was kind of talking about how Nurkic has a better price tag on DraftKings. I think that's true, so I'm probably going to play him on DK. I don't need him here. Talking about Porter Jr. as well, 7-4. It's a good last piece, but I don't need it. And then PJ Dozier, same thing, good last piece, but I like the first side because it gives us Marcus Smart in that good game environment with the guys that they're missing, so I like getting up to him. Honestly, like him more straight up over Porter Jr. here today. So I like that. I like Tristan Thompson, 4.8. Pretty good price tag there. And then Joe Harris, pretty much missing a bunch of guys. So he's kind of the secondary option now on that team. So I like Joe Harris there. So first side for me.
Nice. Comments, VN Jones, Armani's a pivot from the Goodwin chalk. All chalk ain't good chalk. Talking about Killian Hayes, Cam Johnson last night.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably use Brooks over Neto instead of Brooks over Goodwin. I think Goodwin's in too good of a spot to pass up on. But yeah, it makes sense as a pivot for sure.
Yep. And then let's see. Trigger says when we go to Vegas, boys, we're gonna streak around the block, steal everyone's recycling bins, and then burn them, Chris. I also think we should add compost. We should take everyone's compost and just dump it in the garbage as well. Let's do that.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah, we are. DK, Chris, your cores here: Goodwin, Bertans, Nurk, and Westy. Why do you like these guys here?
Yeah, so Goodwin, he's just the free square here. Gonna play him in every lineup. I wouldn't fade him. Just too good of a spot with no Trae Young, no Chris Dunn, a few other guys missing. So I like Goodwin for 3-4. Pretends 4-3 should get the start, I think. But even if he doesn't, obviously Denny got hurt last game, pretty bad injury, so he's out for the year. So Bertans, Bertans is a chucker, highest implied team total for them. So I like that a lot. And then Nurkic here, 5-2. A little bit too cheap for his new minutes limit that he has, about like high 20s. That's what they said last game. So I think he's a little too cheap. So I like Nurkic, and then Westbrook, obviously, like him a lot as a spend up.
Okay, and then which one should we load up? 1-2?
Yeah, 1-2. We got Gallo available to play, so that's pretty big because I would assume that he's going to start now.
Yep. Is the Denny injury, is it like a Hayward one? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think he fractured his ankle or something like that, but he had to get wheelchaired off. It looked pretty bad.
Like Hayward bad, kind of?
Yeah, but you can really see it as well. But if you look closely, you can kind of see it twists the wrong way. It looks like it kind of dislocated.
Yeah, it says hairline fracture. I'll check it out after. So before we get into this one, I think it's just a 1v1. Roll King says, would this be viable in an 8K man contest single entry FanDuel?
Would what be viable?
What, I guess these two options here.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely what I'm going to play unless we get news, some other news. But yeah, that's why we have the optimizer. So yeah, it's definitely viable as of now. But news always changes things in NBA.
Yep. And then VN says, yeah, Chris, good win in all three of my lineups. I was just giving another value play to pivot to. Not for me, though. LOL.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And then Hasty saying, was it a compound fracture? Not sure what that means, but the headlines here say hairline fracture. So not sure. Trigger says, was going to play Boogie, but he says.
Boogie, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I just don't think he's getting enough minutes.
Okay, and then 1v1 here, Chris. These two, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is just a 1v1 here. I'll go over the rest of the lineup first. So we have Goodwin in both. Neto. Neto didn't lock him, but he should start here. I like him a lot. Bertans locked him. Nurkic locked him. Westbrook locked him. And then Oubre going to get the start here with Bazemore out. 5'8", just too cheap in this matchup, I think. They have a pretty healthy over-under in this game, so I like that. Jokic, pretty easy spend up with this value that we have at the beginning of this lineup. And then I like Herter here over Barton just because Trae Young is out, Capella's out, so Herter should get increased usage. So yeah, it's definitely Herter for me here. Barton's a really good option as well. Like we project him to have higher ownership, but I mean, I like Herter. I think you can just spend the extra 300 and get to Herter.
Okay. Then let's go over the single slates. Which one, Chris? We just one today. After Hours or Denver?
It's Denver.
Okay, so we're getting some Jokic, 100% Jokic here. Actually, Chris, we did have the Drummond call yesterday when we went over those, so I bet you if anyone did that, they would have shipped it. Ship. Like our boy Justin here.
No, I don't think he was the highest score, actually. He was second to Luka.
Yeah, I think we said Luka and then Drummond.
Star. Yeah.
But over here, Jokic, Curry.
Yeah, I mean, you could just go Curry at MVP, but I don't know. People will probably do that. Like if you're hand building, I mean, Curry's been on a streak, so you're not getting too much of an edge by doing that. So might as well stick to Jokic. And then Michael Porter Jr., Wiggins. Not seeing much Oubre. I think Oubre is probably interesting here as well.
What Chubbs?
Poole, don't mind him either. And then Poole is the value guy. It's probably going to be in most lineups. I think he's 7.5K. No Bazemore. Poole has been playing very well. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this slate is pretty straightforward just because we have some injuries. I don't really know if there's too many pivots here.
Okay. And then quickly, Chris, let's check this out here.
Move your camera.
Oh, yeah, one sec. There we go. Let me just build 20. Let me refresh this or not. Let's just build 20 just to see what we get here. Favorite the first couple ones. Okay, so how many should we favorite just to see what happens here?
Let's do top 5 like yesterday.
Okay, and then what do you want to try today? This one works now too. Average points per minute.
Wait, so let's see, one sec. Yeah, I don't know. We can do like, let's try what we did yesterday. Or let's try doing like 25 to each of them, but let's start with just one of them. Let's start with the average points in last games.
Okay, and then Rondo's saying Patrice Bergeron out, Chris, for NHL.
Yeah.
Yep. So you just want to do 25 build, and 25 build, and 25 build?
Let's do the second one first, though, with average points in last game.
Get rid of this one?
I mean, we could start with that one. Let's do last 5 games, though.
And then build?
Yeah.
So this one's the average points per minute in the last 5 games, 25% weight to that, and then 75% to the projected fantasy points that we have. So let's see, of the 5 lineups, only one of them is gone now.
Let's make it 100. I don't really know how this one would work. Let's just see what happens if it's 100.
100 just means it's not going to use, excuse me, any PFP. It's just going to use the average points per minute in the last 5 games here. So you can see it's not really getting like PFP guys from today, I don't think.
It is. It's getting a bunch. It's just getting Rozier. I mean, if you do the game log for Rozier, the last 10 games, you're going to get the same thing. I think it's more so for these guys like Kelly Olynyk, Gafford maybe, JTA, Bruce Brown. He's a big guy that's high point per minute. Doesn't get many minutes. So honestly, I don't really like this feature. I would stick to the other one. Let's try that one instead. The middle one.
What do you want, 25?
Let's do 100, see what we get last 5 games.
Building. Yeah, so none of the 5 here now.
Yeah, so now we're getting a bunch of JTA, a bunch of Kelly O, Rozier. I mean, Rozier's been the guy that's had the good game luck for a while now, so he's going to pop a bit. Butler. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, kind of like I just like the normal builds today. Jaren Jackson, so he's the guy that I would probably manually bump down because he had the big bubble performances. This obviously goes back to the bubble, his score. And then he had the big game last time out, so I'm not sure.
What about like 50%? Why don't we give some more weight to the PFP today?
Yeah.
Does this look a bit better or no?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting good point guards. Lots of Terry Rozier because he's, like I said, he's been crushing lately. Let's try doing 25, 25, 25. See what we get.
For all?
Yeah.
And then for this one, do you want to do 5 or what?
No, let's do 25 to all. Yeah, with 5 games, yeah.
Yeah, this will be fun. Once we have a bunch of other stats here, it'd be good. Good stuff. But yeah, this is 25 all. What do you see now?
Yeah, more Wizards because they're the highest team total. Let's go to the Vegas card here quickly. Yeah, so we have Wizards highest, Portland second, Clippers third. So we have 3 Wizards in those top 3 lineups, or actually 2 Wizards, or 3 in the first 2, 2 in the next one, and 2 in pretty much all the rest. Then we have Nurkic.
Actually, 3 in all the rest, Chris. Almost.
Yeah. So yeah, more Wizards. Blazers, more Nurkic. We're getting some CJ in there. Less Rozier because we obviously have some weight to the implied team total now, and they're at the bottom at 106.
Which is nice, I think.
Yeah, just highlight that quickly just so the people can see. Yeah, so less weight to him right there. Yep, bottom left. And then who else are we getting? Some Thunder guys. Dort, he's had that crazy game log, and he's in a good position in terms of PFP today, so he's going to pop a lot. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of like this.
Nice. Okay, let's wrap it up then. Been a long one. Got to start crunching ourselves, Chris. Trigger saying, who's Houston starting at point guard? Isn't it Wallstar? John Wallstar?
Yeah, Wallstar. Yeah.
Yeah, the starters, they have Wallstar, Armani, Brooks, Tate, Olynyk, and Wood as their starters, all confirmed now. So let's do some housekeeping, guys. First up, dfscrunch.com, our optimizer here that we've been using throughout the show, the secret sauce. Check it out. dfscrunch.com, link is also in the description. It's $25 a week, $75 a month, but the cool thing is if you're a new member, you'll get 3 days for free. So all you do is you sign up, you create your billing profile, create your account, and then you won't be charged until after 3 days. So you can cancel anytime before then in the sidebar here by yourself. Oh no, you can see it right here. Scroll there, account, and then that's how you cancel it. So you can do that on your own. But yeah, 3 days for free for all new members. You get access to all the sports we have, all the slates, all the different slates here. So let me just pull that up. So for NBA, we have, what do we have? We have 5 different slates here on FanDuel today, probably 5 or 6 on DK today as well. Plus all these other sports. Friday's one of the best days to join, always on that free trial, just because you have a bit more action on the weekends with UFC, I believe, and the soccer as well.
So yeah, I mean, we have a huge MMA slate tomorrow, so yeah, that's definitely a big one.
Yeah, so check that out. Completely free for the first 3 days. Can cancel anytime before then. Lots of stuff to keep you busy, so go check it out, dfscrunch.com. Other thing, YouTube, before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Helps us grow our channel, so we do appreciate that. And then for your own sake, also to help us grow as well, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell button, and have the all text selected so you can get notified when we go live. Yeah, good place to get your DFS slate overview for NBA out of the way every single day. You get direct access to Chris's DFS brain here. Every question always goes answered here. We never skip a question. So it's kind of, I think that's very unique and rare. So take advantage of that while it's still small, because I can't imagine getting through every question if we had like more people here. It would just take way too long. So take advantage of that while you can here. Chris here, high stakes guy, so he knows his stuff. Yeah. Great thing to do if you're a new DFS player, or even if you're intermediate, advanced. It's always good to bounce ideas back and forth with sharp players. Of course, we also have a lot of super sharp guys here in the YouTube chat as well. So super sharp group here in the YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed. Come back here again. Every single day we do this show. So we'll do it on the weekend. Saturday, Sunday we'll be here. Every day there's an NBA slate, we'll be here. So all that stuff, guys, make sure you do that. Got Brian in here. He says, smash that like button, boys. Sounds like a hasty burner account. Shout out to Brian. Hasty says, good luck to our newest cruncher, Ronald Jones. I sent him his code here, but I guess I'll try to catch him later in the Discord. Anything else, Chris, from you before we wrap it up here?
No, I mean, hopefully everyone has a good slate, good night, good Friday night. Good slate here, so I'm excited. Yep.
Yeah, guys, good luck today. Make sure to come in the Discord if you're a cruncher. I can answer more questions there here. Whoops. Yeah, so it will be in the Discord answering more questions if you guys have any, hanging around chatting there. So be sure to join if you're a cruncher. So yeah, we'll be there. Good luck today, guys. Like Chris already said, we'll see you guys all tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in as always.